Hey guys, how you going? Okay, let's talk about Klaus Schwab today. Okay, I know it's a frightening subject and frightening picture there. Oh, it's an affront. Leo Holman, globalist frontman Klaus Schwab, tells elitist followers they must force humanity into a world ruled by AI and other dehumanizing technologies. This article originally appeared on Leo Hoffman's Substack and was republished with permission. World Economic Forum founder and director Klaus Schwab, speaking at the World Economic Forum's recently concluded summer meeting in China, has informed his elitist followers that ushering in the globalist agenda will require humanity to be forced into a collaboration with the unelected organisation. And the time for forced collaboration has now arrived, so he says. I've got news for Klaus. Klaus? Schwab made the declaration during his opening remarks at the WEF's annual meeting of the New Champions, also known as the Summer Davos in Dalian, China. Oh, how appropriate, in China. He praised China, of course he does, for its economic policies which are seen by the globalists as the model of top-down centralised planning in a high-tech surveillance state, run through smart cities, smart EVs, electric vehicles, smart homes, smart appliances, smart meters, AI, digital IDs and CBDCs, all of which hold one thing in common. They come with an on-off switch, not under the control of the end user, which is we the people. In their ideal world, we will live as slaves at the privilege of our masters. We get out of line, they can cut off our electric power, our electric car, our electronic digital money, everything, and starve you to death. They can lock you out of your home with smart homes, or they could lock you in your home with a smart home. And smart meters, they could turn off your electricity while you're in there. So you can't, there's no way you can get out. If your electricity is off and your home is a smart home, there is nothing working the electronics to get you in and out of your house, whether it's by fingerprint sensor or a number, a PIN number or whatever. But anyway, Schwab told the elitist participants gathered in China that they must force humanity into a collaboration with the unelected WEF. Well, Australia's in trouble because China pretty much owns Australia right now. This is why Schwab told his globalist comrades at a previous meeting 2 years ago to expect an angrier world. When you force people to live in ways that controvert their best interest, it tends to make them angry. They know their policies related to a green economy, perpetual wars, severe restrictions on travel, farming, eating meat and a host of other activities considered crucial to a middle-class lifestyle will be extremely unpopular and cause civil wars on top of the world war they already have planned. They want us all fighting each other so they can take over. Remember, as the 2023 World Government Summit, the globalists told us that there would need to be a shock event in order to usher in a new world order. Now they're being even more honest and telling us that we will be forced to accept their new world order. Schwab stated, to drive future economic growth, we must embrace innovation and force the collaboration across sectors, regions, nations and cultures to create a more peaceful, inclusive, sustainable and resilient future. At this critical juncture, the active participation of all stakeholders is essential to ensure a sustainable development path. Well, Klaus, haven't you been accused of sexual harassment and discrimination? How are you then peaceful, inclusive, sustainable and resilient? I'd like to know, because we're going to read that one next. Of course, the biggest stakeholders of all those paying taxes to fund governments have no seat at the table in Schwab's elitist meetings, and that's by design. We are seen by these globalist predators as useless eaters, part of a herd that needs to be culled in order to preserve global resources for themselves. That's what Malthusians believe. Marcus Cottis said, FWF, Klaus Schwab, we must force humanity into a collaboration. Well, he can go himself, okay? Like Elon said, go yourself. Klaus Schwab, you are being accused of harassment and discrimination. So where's cancel culture with him now? Below is another clip where Scwab touts the so-called fourth industrial revolution technologies such as artificial intelligence. This is why they don't need as many of us on the planet as in the past. That's why they're making us sick. AI will perform most of the tasks for the elite. They don't need as many human slaves. Okay, let's listen to this one. It's from X.
At the same time, we are witnessing rapid technological advances with many opportunities, and with artificial intelligence rapidly transforming our production and our lives. And breakthroughs from the fourth industrial revolution provide new opportunities for global prosperity and growth. All those factors will have a profound impact on the future of humanity, provided we are able to work together. To drive future economic growth, we must embrace innovation and foster collaboration across sectors, regions, nations, and cultures to create a more peaceful, inclusive, sustainable, and resilient future. At this critical juncture, the active participation of all stakeholders is essential to ensure a sustainable development path. I'm delighted that close to 2,000 leaders from multiple sectors representing some 80 countries and regions have come to Dalian for this year's meeting.
Okay, and we should find those 2,000 people and not let them be in any form of power whatsoever. Okay, and now this one, Tim Hinchcliffe said risks and opportunities coexist. Breakthroughs from the fourth industrial revolution provide new opportunities for global prosperity and growth. Yeah, for them. Klaus Scwab at the WEF, because the rest of us will be cattle.
In today's world, risks and opportunities coexist. We face major issues such as environmental challenges, energy transformations, rising geopolitical tensions, and social challenges such as pandemics, aging, and widening income disparities. At the same time, we are witnessing rapid technological advances with many opportunities, and with artificial intelligence rapidly transforming our production and our lives. And breakthroughs from the fourth industrial revolution provide new opportunities for global prosperity and growth. All those factors will have a profound impact on the future of humanity, provided we are able to work together.
Dear God. Scwab returned to the topic of the fourth industrial revolution while doubling down on the theme of this year's meeting, that there are limits to growth. In globalist speak, limits to growth is code for activate depopulation agenda. Who else here thinks that this might have already happened? They're already pushing it. They've been pushing the CBDCs. They've been pushing everything online. That's why it is a good idea not to do everything online. Because if you do, you're kind of falling into it. I mean, I'm guilty. I do my banking online because most of our banks are, well, there's not even one anywhere near me anymore. But if I can pay a bill at the post office, I'll still do that. Tim Hinchcliffe said the theme of this annual meeting is Next Frontiers for Growth, but actually what we have seen in the presentations are now limits to growth provided we use technologies of the fourth industrial revolution in a wise manner. Klaus Scwab at the WEF, Summer Davos. Let me just say that Black Mirror, anyone? Have you ever watched Black Mirror? I would advise you to go and watch it, because that looks like what we're heading for if these people ever succeed. Is this actually a video? Yep.
The theme of this annual meeting is next frontiers for growth. But actually, what we have seen in the presentations, there are now limits to growth, provided we use technologies of the fourth industrial revolution in a wise manner, as the Prime Minister of Vietnam said, in a human-centered way, provided we take care of nature and see the green economy as a great opportunity for humankind and also for stimulating the economy, provided also we fully exploit the innovational and entrepreneurial capability of the people sitting here in the room by formulating effective means of cooperation between governments and business.
So in other words, everyone in that room is going to be an entrepreneur. He's going to make them rich, in other words.
And finally, and most importantly, by working together on a global level, always being aware that we are humanity with a shared destiny. In this respect, I invite you to join me in extending again our warm applause to Premier Li, President Duda, and Prime Minister Pham Minh Chinh.
Yep, no thank you. Limits to Growth is the key title of a key globalist tome pushed by the Club of Rome in 1972. One of the co-authors, Dennis Meadows, said 6 years ago in an interview that the world's population must be reduced from the current 8 billion down to 1 or 2 billion. Meadows said he hopes this massive depopulation could be done in a peaceful way. Wide Awake Media said Club of Rome member and co-author of The Limits to Growth, Dennis Meadows, offers an insight into totalitarian, anti-human, depopulation-obsessed mindset of globalist technocrats, masquerading behind the facade of environmentalism.
But in one way or another, we are so far, globally, we are so far above the population and the consumption levels which can be supported by this planet that I know in one way or another it's going to come back down. So I don't hope to avoid that. I hope that it can occur in a civil way, and I mean civil in a special way, peaceful. Peace doesn't mean that everybody's happy, but it means that conflict isn't solved through violence, through force, but rather in other ways. And so that's what I hope for. That we can, I mean, the planet can support something like 1 billion people, maybe 2 billion, depending on how much liberty and how much material consumption you want to have. If you want more liberty and more consumption, you have to have fewer people. And conversely, you can have more people. I mean, we could even have 8 or 9 billion probably if we have a very strong dictatorship, which is smart. That's, unfortunately, you never have smart dictatorships. They're always stupid. So, but if you had a smart dictatorship and a low standard of living, you can have it. But we want to have freedom and we want to have a high sentence, so we're going to have 1 billion people. And we're now at 7, so we have to get back down. I hope that this can be slow, relatively slow, and that it can be done in a way which is relatively equal, so that people share the experience and you don't have a few rich, trying to force everybody else to deal with it. So those are my hopes. I mean, these are pretty pessimistic hopes, but that's what lies ahead.
Okay, a couple of things. He's putting a logical fallacy forward as you can only have, an abundance of things if you've only got 1 or 2 billion people. No, you can do it with a lot more. It's the greedy rich people that are doing that. And another thing, I'm wondering, do you think they've already done this? What peaceful way could you depopulate the planet? Let's think over the last 4 years, what peaceful way they could depopulate the planet and get people actually going for it. Okay, I'll let you, I know what I'm thinking. Jabbers. Notice Meadows says he would like to see a smart dictatorship brought upon the earth. This is the global technocracy in which people's lives are ruled by scientists, engineers and other experts. Politicians, if they even exist under this vision for humanity, will be figureheads only. We already see that happening. Does anyone think Joe Biden is actually in charge of anything? Or Albanese? Or Trudeau? Or Sunak? And yet this is a man we are told we elected to represent us in 2020. Anyone who believes Biden is making his own decisions or has made any important decisions from day one is fundamentally gullible and deceived. He is a Manchurian candidate and has been from day one, and because he has become senile to the point where his globalist handlers are no longer able to hide it, they're ready to replace him with a new puppet. The new puppet will look prettier and speak smoother, but she will no more be in charge of his or her actions as a president than Biden has been. And the more I see it, the more it's looking like it might be Kamala. Sorry guys, but that's the only way they can keep their money. Let me just make this a bit bigger. Okay, WF Klaus Schwab. This is from Human Events. WSJ's done it. Wall Street Journal's done it. There's heaps of mainstream news articles on this. WF Klaus Schwab accused of sexual harassment and discrimination against employees report. A new report compiled by the Wall Street Journal has revealed a culture of discrimination and harassment at the World Economic Forum. A number of current and former employees told the outlet they have alleged that top brass, including founder and soon-to-be former chief executive Klaus Schwab, engaged in conduct that directly contradicted the ideals that the organisation outwardly promotes. Claims range from unwanted touching to sexually suggestive or racist comments and discriminatory business practices that unfairly impacted women and people of colour. Those affected by their superiors' actions noted that in most cases, little was done to hold the perpetrators accountable. Well, surprise, surprise. Are you surprised? According to the Wall Street Journal, at least 6 female employees reported being sexually harassed by senior managers, and while some were removed from their positions when their conduct was exposed, others were allowed to remain at the WEF. In one instance, head of technology and digital service posed as a doctor and got a female employee to take off her shirt. He was never reprimanded, and the woman was eventually fired, with higher-ups claiming her performance had declined. In another case, Schwab himself allegedly stood in a way that displayed his crotch and told a woman that he'd like to see her wearing a Hawaiian costume. Remember Klaus Schwab on the beach? Yeah, that one. Funny, isn't it? He also allegedly told her that if he wasn't married, he'd want to be with her. A further 6 women who became pregnant while working there claimed they'd been discriminated against as a result. Some alleged they'd been given poor performance reviews as a way to shuffle them out and bring in employees who were not preparing to give birth or recently returned from maternity leave. Non-white employees told the Wall Street Journal that they felt as though they'd been ignored for promotions or other career opportunities due to their race, and it was also alleged that a number of higher-ups used the N-word in their presence. The WEF denied many of the allegations set forth in the report, with spokesman Yan Zop claiming the outlet simply wanted to mischaracterise our organisation, culture and colleagues, including our founder. And there you go. What do you think of all this? Not to mention, he was supposed to step down so that Yuval Harari bloke could take over. Wasn't he? As far as I'm aware. Okay, anyway, guys, that's it for today. I'll be back with a live tomorrow morning. I'm believing it is Friday, right? Yes, it is. Okay. I don't know what day it is. No, I'll be back tomorrow morning with a live stream. I hope you can join us then. And until then, have a good morning, afternoon or evening, wherever you are. I'll talk to you soon. Bye, guys. Oh, look for me over on Rumble as well. I'm about to do a video there, and it'll be a different video than what you see here. Okay, guys, have a good one. Bye.